was fit too.
Eh?
That's nice that he was fit.
Oh, aye. Not so bad, you know,
Aye.
at that age.
Oh, aye, that's good.
At that age, it's not. As long as the memory keeps,
That's
Yes,
the main
that's
thing.
it.
that's the main thing.
Yeah.
But when the memory goes, that's the worst. You can't get on your sense out of you
That's
when
right.
the memory goes. That's right. You know.
Well, no fear of that happening.
No,
Eh?
well, I hope no.
No, I don't think so.
I've never seen a metal one. Is that
What?
is that a metal board, Mary? Lift it up. See.
Well, they're just tobacco it now.
They're usually wooden, aren't they?
Oh, well, that was a very good one. And then you rub it up and down and that takes the
Aye.
only thing, it's very dirty, you know.
Aye.
These young ones, they never thinking anything else if they get the good house and get squared up and then all these kittens after them.
That's right.
That's the fella said to me one time. I was saying, so I know where do you get married? And he says, no, he says, I'm just not studying it just yet. He says, for these young women, he says, they need everything the minute you went to a house now. You know, the old people, he says, they could have waited and got as they had the money, but these ones just needs everything when they went.
That's true.
He was thinking the women wasn't as easy wrote me.
Tony was saying you had a look at the fold.
Hey,
Tony was saying you
Oh,
had a
aye.
look at the fold.
I had a look at the
What
phone.
did you think of that?
Oh, it's very nice for them at table.
Oh, that'll be full of buttons and machines, was it?
Oh, well, you need to hear a washing machine like the other one too. Oh, that one wasn't my style of good.
Tell Mary about this wee house. What this house was used for.
What?
Tell her what you used this house for.
That was for cooling them out.
Yes.
And the water come in there, you see, oh, the stream.
Right.
And that was it. The water come in there and run round the cans and run out and into the spout again.
Right.
That was the way. But then that we had to sink that pump for them out.
Aye. You'd have it in cans here.
No, they wouldn't take that water, you see. They had to pump water or spring water or something to go around the cans and so.
Aye,
Then
aye.
that's just ship water, but that's coming for a spring way up, you know, a good bath,
Aye.
way up in the
Nice
fields.
fresh water.
Oh, we never use it for anything. Then, since we got the pump, we never use it for anything drinking or putting the kettle or anything like that, you know.
No.
We wouldn't think about it.
What sort of water did you call it, Martha? Did you call it shuck water?
Oh, that's ship water. And that comes for a spring up in Lolly's boat, up in Lolly's field. That's spring water right now.
Do you know what shuck is, Mary?
Aye, Mike was explaining.
Well, it's some old names for things around there.
Oh, I know, it's all different.
There were a woman and John McCorb's and Manny.
Oh, right.
Manny McCowan.
Yes.
They were a brave team.
Yes.
And that was Florrie out there out the town. Harry was her uncle.
Yes.
And Manny and me and what John was telling her about that. And that John sent boys money again for supper we've spent there.
Right.
And Florrie, she looks round and she couldn't understand that's for supper.
Yes.
And she says, and had you for supper here off it? Oh, so come on, like, she do you know what a for supper is?
Yes.
You come on and sit and talk, or maybe we got a table in the fire.
Right.
Man, I could explain it to her.
Yes.
Man, I could tell you some of the hard days they had.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, he doesn't deny it.
She used to strick the flax
Uh-huh.
in the middle.
And the mill.
Aye.
The flakes in the mill.
And I have that mill for the
Yeah?
museum. I have the mill for the museum. It's
Yeah.
part of that machinery that's lying in the
Then
yard.
she went to the Montgomerys then to be housekeeper.
That's right, yes.
Uh-huh.
Wait, which Montgomerys did you go to? Which Montgomerys?
Hey,
Which Montgomerys did you go to?
they had a bus, I think, all in
Oh, yes.
it.
Yes, I know. That's Tom Montgomery up at Slemish.
Lately, it's way up there anyway.
Yes,
Oh, why? And the brother drafted it on while they had it.
that's right, yes. That's right. That was Bobby, the brother Bobby.
Bobby.
Bobby drove it.
Manny can tell you some good change things.
That's right.
But Manny should explain the first supper
Yes.
to Florrie. She thought that they were, you know what, you were coming out and they were a bag spread or supper roll. But Manny thought it was something else. It was the yarns that was went round the house was more. And here there are not many command. You had the whole news of the country, you know. And somebody maybe coming from beside the local news. They didn't know it at all. Stella Smith, they comes down here, and I could have been telling her things from beside her, and she never did work.
How does the weather suit you? The
Oh,
sunny weather.
that's weather's all right. It was wet for a wee while there,
Sure
but
it
it's
was.
great now for them at this hay and things, you know, to
It's
work
good.
with. It's great. But are you over on holidays, or are you
No.
over tied up?
I'm tied up. I'm afraid so. No, I'm here for the duration.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's great.
They're living up at the Miss Alexander's house.
Hey?
They're living up at Ballycloughan
Oh, I see.
in the Miss Alexander. She was Dr. James's aunt.
Uh-huh.
She,
Was Dr. James's wife dead beforehand?
no.
No.
He died first.
Uh-huh.
He died first. She died about 10 years ago.
Oh, I
No,
see.
maybe more, 10, 15 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's got a great big garden.
Huh?
It's got a great big garden.
I know.
Terrible work.
Oh, you're some work.
Oh,
When
I
you
don't
get
know
the
much about
spade
it.
and gets out.
Aye, that's just what we're at.
Martha, what happened in the old times when you got engaged?
They don't know.
Well, was there did they have a party or what?
Over in Canada, when they hear where the one going to get married, they invite all these young ones, and they all bring, they call it a shower.
Yes, that's right.
They call it a shower.
Yeah.
I never knew anything about it. I
Managed to
knew
avoid
more. But that's what they do all there. I think the last letter I had for some of them, they were a shower on for some while.
Well, did people get engaged a long time in the past?
Hey?
Did people get engaged a long time?
No, they didn't. Some of them doesn't get engaged very long, and there are some of them. But over there, I think they're not long till they're married. Then you know, they're married young and all.
Yes.
But they what they call a shower, and then you go and take something. Every young one goes and takes something that would help them in the house, you know, or
Yeah.
something like that.
A washing machine.
Oh no! Oh, indeed, I did see. I seen it. I was asked down to what a girl was getting married, and one of them, one set of them, or aunts brought her a washing machine, another bought her a fridge,
Oh,
and another, what was that now? It was something else. That raving back. No, the man she was working for bought her, you know them thing that they put on the freezer.
Oh, Fraser, yes.
wow. And sure, all she was needing was one of these.
That's
What?
All she'd be needing was one of these. And that would see her right.
Don't you start with that. There a fella telling me it used to come to the van, I was making fun of him, you know. He was saying I would like a bit of lawn, you know. But I was looking a bit, and they're not a good house on it. Oh, well, says I, if you had a brave bit of a farm, so after that, you could, as you get the strength, you can build up the house and make it better. Oh, but see, Martha, you don't know. The women wears the trousers now. Well, says I, do you not know? Says I, well, do you not know it was the woman, says I, led Adam astray?
That's true.
And says I, when she goes up and She has to say, I will.
And that's the end of it then.
Oh, now they used to some terms with them, you know, from where the vans coming around and the evenings coming around and the van to the running there. They used to some shades with them.
These were the delivery vans.
Uh-huh.
Did you get a bread? Did a bread cart come here, Martha?
Huh?
Did a bread cart come here?
They were poor like it's the thing since we has lost a long time to settle it.
Yes,
He goes down and gets what does the week.
yes,
You ain't live on the colour of money you need to know, for you never know, and especially when it comes to your wanting.
yes.
When we were living on flour, it used to be when the family was a 10-stone bag of flour was left on. Mommy baked
Yes.
every day.
Uh-huh.
And sat.
108 and a
Well,
half.
There were half others come for a while
Yes.
after they went away. And then as last while back, the way you get the flour, if you're buying, the most of them just buys it in packets, you know, for something like that. But Paul, I got a square of flour, 36 pounds,
Yes.
six pound bag. And that done us for a month, like that. And he was all of it sooner when he was at us. And even up to the very last, he was trying it, you know, he wouldn't, except pardon if he wouldn't turn you to anything. Very seldom even buns there, he wouldn't have cared about them if we got the soda. What?
How did you keep the mice from getting at the flour?
Well, I put it in a tin of, left the 6 pound bags out and set it in a creamery can.
Yes.
And put the lid on.
That was good.
That's sensible.
Aye. The house is full of creamy
that's
cans. With,
It's not easy keeping the mice bag,
that's right.
so they can get on everything.
Aye.
Well, how much washing do you have to do?
What? Oh no, I had just that.
Uh-huh. Go ahead with the washing there.
Oh no, it's all right. I just had to range out.
Yeah.
I just had to range out. Well, how do you like this country?
I like it fine.
Oh, that's great. That's the main thing.
It's quite like home.
Quite
Quite
a
like
lot.
it.
Oh,
Aye.
that's just the main thing.
Aye.
You know, if you're thinking that was better somewhere else,
That wouldn't do. Aye. I'm getting all my family over to visit me.
Huh?
I'm having all my family over to visit me.
Oh, yeah, hey.
All coming over, one after each other.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, that's
We're getting
great.
busy,
Oh, you'll get busy, yeah.
but it's nice to see them.
Nice to see them, oh, aye. It's nice to see them.
And then we'll be over there for our wedding.
Aye, they'll be for.
So we'll see them all
coming
in
soon.
October.
Oh, October, oh, well, that's just
Quite
gives you
soon.
time to prepare.
Should
Yes.
what?
Gives you time to prepare for
That's
it.
right.
Aye.
Not enough time though.
Oh, well, you just said you hurry.
That's all you can do.
Have you all the washing done, Martha?
Oh, wasn't too bad. Well, there's another one. There's another rope out over before the yard house up above, you know.
Yes.
That's another rope too, but that's here's what we called up the back of the house was Wilson's rope.
Yeah. Who lived in that other old house?
Huh?
Who lived in the other house?
No.
No, who lived there?
Who left?
Yes.
Where?
On
Up there,
yes.
up next Laddie's.
Yeah.
That's where Jim Wilson and the mother lived.
Yes.
And you see that big rope there out in front of the house.
That's why it's called Wilson's Rock.
That's one, but that's how they're even the back we topped up at the top of Wilson's rope.
Oh, I see, right.
But that one up there was supposed to be, you see, at our times it was the Danes was here.
Yes.
That's where the wee folk were.
Yes.
And then they had the they had a place on there, and there, and that was their place of living. And they sit down there to tell the story. Only you know that's what the storytellers for the story. And Anna there and Jim lived up there.
Right.
And that one day, there a sweet woman come up to her, and said to her, she just, when you're throwing out your water, throw it to that side for it to come down on our channel.
I see, right.
Well, did you ever see any of these wee folk, Martha?
No, we never seen all of it. But that's what the story was there.
Aye.
And then that she come in another day and she said she could you lend me a colour of meal.
Yes.
And was supposed to down had given her a colour of meal. And that she said, well, she, your barrel will never be empty.
Right.
Oh, look at the town told stories while they were.
Well, when you were a child, do you remember going up there to those people and being told these stories?
Oh no, I didn't hear them. I hear them tell the man here.
Oh, I see, right.
I never even I made a Jim was all right.
Yeah.
For whenever I had a brother Rob lived down in Whiteston there, and whenever he
No, it's okay, sorry, just tell my lady, come on in.
he lived down in Whiteston, we some other buddy, some aunt or something, and then whenever he died, Alan and Jim went down.
Yes.
But I mean, a Jim was coming up here.
Yeah.
He used to come up to this place up here, he had that place on up there. And then he come up there and he looked, and he said about it, and looked base and things up there. And he had that farm on up for a good 20 years. But then they were Miller's, Jimmy Miller's sister and Robert Cale used to live away over there and Rakeel and down for Andy Currigan's was lived. And then whenever Rob Cale and them bought that wee place up above, they bought that place and Faye Jim Walsh and how he stayed down there, and the mother had been dead years before that, I'm sure.
Do you remember your father's house?
Huh?
Do you remember your father's house?
No, it wasn't up in my time. They were
No.
just the walls up.
Yes.
And they were just, I think it was just a one-end house and a loft on it.
It seemed quite a big house. There were a lot of walls there.
Aye, but there were office houses too.
Yes.
There were pig houses and there were a buyer. You see, Daddy lived there a good 20 years.
Right.
He had that half of the farm, and that was their man's.
His father's.
His farm,
Oh,
Williams.
right.
That was his farm. And then Daddy lived there till there were just 3 of us born here.
Yes.
But the house wasn't fixed till I was born.
Right.
I was born, Mommy said, when the house was fitted. They were just fixed on it. Bobby Dempster was building.
Yes. That's what you told me. This table that we're sitting beside here is Harry Dempster made this table.
Uh-huh.
That was one of the neighbours. Harry died about 3 years ago. He was a joiner. He came back from the States. We know who all these things were made from. These links that the crane are on, these were made by Bobby Hoey, the blacksmith.
Is he still around?
No, but I've his photographs. His
Them
son,
there can be washed clear, you know.
his son's still alive.
Mommy used to burn them usually, but Paul washed them in the spit.
Yes.
He took them out of the spit and rubbed them up and down the stones and all, not how them as clear as could be, but they weren't touched as good fire.
What time of year did you get the bog bean, Martha?
You get it now.
Aye.
Uh-huh.
I'll walk down and see if it's still there.
Oh, it just goes along the ground.
Oh, I know what it looks like. Paul showed me last year.
Uh-huh. It's down on the moss.
Yes, aye.
And look here. Oh, you should get a little gathered up
Aye.
and treat this woman top.
That's right.
Can you eat it?
I see she
No,
wanted to go
no,
back a
don't eat that.
half.
Don't
think
eat
she
the
took that bag
bone
of half
because if
kilo.
you eat it,
Yeah, but
it'll
just
your
it.
stomach wouldn't do you. But you
Give her back.
pull it, and then it's lying along the ground, and a whole lot of hairs now, or, you know, kind of wee hairy thing. And then you put it, and you wash it. You take it and you wash it and pull these wee bits off. Well, and Daddy's time, he always dried it before he boiled it day enough. But when I brought it up, I washed it and took all that out, nose and all off it that I could. And puts it on and stews it just, not just heavy boiled, but if you put not enough water on it, you can hear it black enough. Oh, what's a good said for their whole lot on here, and they said they had to gather it for their own. And that man's granny sent up for it every year.
Oh, well, it must have something then.
Huh?
It must have something
It
then.
must have been something that, the others wouldn't have done wanting it. That was their medicine. They had no doctor.
Yeah.
They never knew doctor in their early days. That was that, and there was something grew it down that one of them fields, and there was thick leaf on it. And I asked Mommy, I seen Willie John Esser coming in, and I bet it in a spoke it, and I was wee, and wasn't I? And I said to Mommy, I says, what's Willie John doing with that? That grew up. She says, that's if you sore place in your hand, if you set that on it, it heals it. That was the way they healed.
Oh, well, the doctor only brings you a camera now.
Huh?
The doctor only brings you a camera.
That man was down here one day,
Yes.
having a tea.
That is nice. The child has been christened on Sunday.
Hey?
His child has been christened on Sunday.
Oh dear. Uh-huh.
So I've got to go up and see him. I was over at the peat bank, Martha.
Eh?
I was over at the peat bank.
Uh-huh.
It's all grown up.
Uh-huh.
What happened to this, Willie? What went on with this?
Do you know what that is?
No idea whatsoever. What is it?
It was way years and years ago when knowing the Dowshire cows.
Hold that up, please. Just hold it up
Here,
more front. Aye.
When the Dowshire cows, know the way they shout hound.
Yes.
You scoot that down on the top of the hound
Uh-huh.
to keep them from sort of
Yeah.
hounding each other.
When then did you just leave it on them?
Oh, you scoot that down on the wee screw
There
on the
wee
side of
screws
it.
in there.
Oh.
The wee screws in
And then you left it on. You left
Oh,
it.
not a point of hound, you keep it.
Stand over in the light a wee bit there, Willie. That's fine. Where's it, dear? Where's the side, the screw hole in the side?
Yeah.
No, don't stand too close to me.
Oh, no,
so-
oh. There,
right,
you
that's
want
good.
that?
Aye, that's great.
So you get it with you.
Well, I would of course take everything here.
What did
You know me. That's very. I didn't know that. That's I've learned something now today. In fact, I've learned a lot of things today.
I don't know if it's an alien or not. Was it one or two, Martha?
There were two all at the time. But maybe if you look in the drawer, but they're not watching it. But
Maybe they're on the cow at present.
no, that's gone years ago. Mine are right well.
And I've never knew about that.
Hey?
How did you know about that, Willie?
Oh, I don't
think I ever seen one.
I've never seen that.
What it was.
I thought they always just took the horns off them,
Oh,
dehorned
why,
them.
but that's only a late years
That's
ago.
only lately.
Aye.
There's a wee screw and you put down at it.
You know what they're talking about, Mary? You screw it over the point and then lock
Same
it on.
as they put the
Yeah.
ring in the bully.
Yes, aye,
You put a ring on it, and then a wee screw and put in it.
yeah.
They're quite heavy.
The humbug.
Huh?
Did you ever call the thing a humbug that you put in the bull?
No, ours never had a humbug, but
Aye.
I seen that somebody here with it.
Did you have a name for this thing?
Hey?
Did you have a name for this? What?
That's just for putting the cow's horns, that's all Daddy got them for.
That's great to have
It was a
that.
great bit. She used to have great sharp horns.
Yeah,
And then she was fighting me all the day.
yeah. When did Paul last use that?
Oh, Paul never used them. It was
No.
in Daddy's time.
Right.
Paul never had them on him. But maybe they were one of them. No, but I thought the two of them was in that looked there.
I don't think it would go on your Highland cattle, Mary. Do you know the big cows that they have in Scotland?
Oh, aye, with a
Aye.
big horn.
Aye, big
the
one.
Highland boy.
Aye.
I had a foot of them there. I carried James Robertson and the wife was over there.
Right.
Away up in an island.
How's the tea coming on?
Huh?
How's the tea?
Well, the kettle.
Aye.
Oh, what scarcely boiled it, that thing. All of them got up there.
You don't use tea bags, I hope, do
Oh,
you?
what? Why?
Modern woman.
That's very lazy.
Hey?
That's very lazy.
Another thing, that you pour too much in the cup at the bottom. You need a very tight strainer to keep them boys out. But they used to be, it was nothing but louse tea.
Aye,
And then you get your cup laid.
yeah.
Aye. Can you do that?
No, I never done. Sassy used to keep going with one fellas telling them that.
Yeah.
She couldn't do any cups, so.
Sandra was told about meeting me. Sandra.
Uh-huh.
Before she met me, she was told about that she was going to meet somebody like me.
Uh-huh.
And it was Sammy Turtle's wife. Sammy Turtle was a builder in Brishain.
Uh-huh.
And his wife would tell people's fortunes. And one day she told Sandra that she would meet a small, dark man and she would spend the first night with him. Now, that was 30 years ago, and that was a big thing, to spend the first night. So, in fact, this is what happened. I brought Sandra over to a dance in Rennie and Dowd in the school in Mackerfelt.
Uh-huh.
And the snow came on that night. And she wasn't able to go home. She had to stay with us.
Uh-huh.
So it all came true. So maybe you should go back to the old tea leaves again, Martha.
Oh, there's someone in the house there to go. But that's the other thing. They were just rather much in the bottom.
Do you remember the wee tin that you had tea and sugar in? I've never seen one of those round here. Maybe it's more the sort of working man had. Do you know what I'm talking about? A wee oval tin. Every working man had one of those. The time tea and sugar were rationed.
I've never seen that.
I have. I have. That's right, oval. You see tea in one end and sugar in the other. There used to be, every house had one, and now you couldn't find them. I've managed to pick up 2 or 3 because I know about it, but you wouldn't see it now at all.
Oh, we used to we strainer for straining the tea.
Oh, aye.
Just strain that kept
Aye.
leave.
Martha, when they were out in the field, how did you keep the tea warm? When they were working in the field, how did they keep the tea warm?
Oh well, if we were, except we were away down in the granite, we had a big flask. When we were working at hay down there, and then we took that. It wasn't very often, for we usually come up for meals. When we were in the moss, we always come up for meals. Mommy was here for a good few years,
Yes.
and then we just always come up. But she could have, whenever she was here, and at dinner time, she went out and gave a hook,
Yes.
just with her mouth.
Aye.
And Tom Corr said he heard her as he was going down on White Sloan. Tom said, see, I heard you hooking on them for the mower.
Yes.
As I went down on White Sloan from a pinch. But she done that and threw up a white cloth in the hedge.
Yes.
And we had the view of the hedge.
Aye.
Then we knew it was dinner time. Maybe I bet they went to.
And did you have them? Did you have these for your own bed?
No, there would have been, but I never had them on it. I had plenty. I made one for my own bed. I had one with them for the bed, but it's wore now the top off it. No, it'll just be burnt, you see. But they're great. Took some over to, and Margaret took one that was hand quilted. With my mother and Maggie McKellen used to quilt them.
Oh, lovely.
And them ones there was quilted, but then the top went off them, and I just started and got cloth and sewed it together, and then started with the machine.
Did you do wee shapes?
No, I didn't do these shapes. I just put straight in one. But this here was one had been bought. That had been it was in the town, and you could have got them maybe for 2 shillings or something like that. Without money. Yeah, but that there and that was made just with bits. So that one was lined just with bits of dresses or something like that. You see, that was just. There's some of them was new stuff, but then some of them that's lying was flour bags. There were 10 stone flour bags that time. And then you,
To line them.
I to line them. It was way far longer than any other cloth, you know, it was
Aye,
great.
aye.
Straw cloth, you washed it. There were a big black bird, I'm sure you mind.
Yes. Morton's.
Huh?
Morton's. Early riser flour.
That big early riser.
That's right.
And whenever you had that early riser, you had to take them bags and get them fairly well washed and wash in soda. And try to get them letters out of it. So it was on them at that time. After that, they got it in a strip of paper and put round them, and it wasn't so bad. But that was on them.
Oh, yeah.
And then you put them out in the grass, down flat, and got them bleached out.
Ah, that's clever. Good.
Washed them, but had a brave wee colour of blue on them. You know, they were blue in them times. But the blue's in the doors now. But you put them down in the grass, let them lie there for a wee while, and that took all the letters out.
Aye. How long would it take to make a quilt?
Oh, it would when Mommy was, and them was doing it with a hand, you know, it was just with the breadth of your finger between every article.
Oh, aye.
Every one. It was just about that. And then you done it up, down, down.
Uh-huh.
And the one that I said to Margaret Snyder, a quilt here, Mommy and them quilted. Maggie McCallum was living over there, and the day they were quilting, she came over, stayed all day and quilted with Mommy. And Sissy was here, and she would have done it maybe a wee bit, but she was doing the work about it that time. And then that quilt, I think it was quilted before Bentham.
Good.
You know,
Wow.
they had a big, long frame. You hit a quilting frame if you're doing it with your hand.
Oh, aye.
You hit a quilting frame.
To keep it tight.
To keep it, and you rolled it up there. The quilt before you started to quilt.
Uh-huh.
You rolled it on that one,
Mm-hmm.
and you had a chair there, and there were what they called the swords. That was the sword come that way. It went down that at every, and there was another big one here where you were starting. And that's where you started down on at this age. And you had to quilt that. I'm telling you, it would be the price of one of them dear quilts now that they buy. And what thread it would take now, the price of the thread.
Oh, aye. Cost you a fortune.
And they quilted that quilt in the day usually.
Is there any Morton's flour bag in any of this? Ask her.
Is there any flour bags in any of the ones you've got just now?
Hey?
Have you made any of these ones with flour bags?
No, that one, so I think that one would be maybe.
Aye.
See if that's.
That's lovely and bright.
That's right. That's the thing. That's another thing that I bought.
What's that?
That was sunflower base. That was another top that I bought, and then that was the stuff I bought here. That's on the other side of it. That's that. I bought that, you see.
That's lovely.
That's that. Would you want that one?
I would love to have it for the museum.
Huh?
I would love to have it for the museum, Martha.
Well, you can have it because I had to give them all away.
Well,
And there's plenty of them up there, but the other ones is not maybe, they're as good, you know, in a
Yes.
way. And there are flower bags on them, I'm sure.
Aye.
Some of them was just old bits, other clothes, maybe a dress or maybe a shirt was
Right.
good big straw bit. And it's up at the back side of the loft. You could take that and that's a brave decent lot.
right.
it's
What's that number thing
Huh?
on the inside there?
What's
That would cover a good big bed.
What's that, Martha?
Eh?
What's that writing? Numbers.
It was, them boys threw them out and they, is that writing? Oh, well that's
It's
just,
numbers.
no, that's writing. It must have been on the top of the quilt that I bought, you know. They just sewed bits and the town there, you could have went down and you could have got a bit like that. You could have got that whole thing maybe for a couple of bob.
Yes.
It's 10 pence now.
Uh-huh.
You maybe could have got that in the shop. Some of the shops were selling them out tops for quilts. And I would have bought that whenever I was on, if I was intending one, like this with brave decent top on it. You know. I would bought maybe one of them and then sit down and that was my first hour's work. It wasn't television.
No, I'm sure.
I had the machine sitting up on here and then I quartered that and I quartered it brave and close, you see.
It's
Well,
lovely
they're like-
work. It's very, very neat.
They're likely a wee light blanket on it maybe. You know, a worn blanket.
Ah,
And but the one I had on me, it was a brave good blanket, but you know, worn, washed a few times, and then I put it on it and put cloth over the top of it, but that's torn now, you know. But there's plenty there at the. Oh, you can hay on for, and you can hay that. You could hay another, and them ones there.
If any of the I want to see one that the flour bag was on.
Well, I'm sure up there.
I'll have a look and see if there's one of the
I
flour
think
bags.
Great get some with flower bags on, but a good decent towel.
they're
Up at the
beautiful.
back side of the loft there.
Did you ever fill them with feathers?
Eh?
Did you ever fill them with feather? or
No,
anything?
we never filled them with feathers. No, we never got any of them. There were that many. I quilted that many that year. I was quilt. It was good for me, I thought, to
Yay.
be quilting quilts.
Oh, it's lovely. Lovely work.
Well, you can. Yeah, there's some of them I don't know whether they're up there, but they're great. But I think some of them are very good stuff. Well, it's brave and heavy, mate.
So it is.
Uh,
That would look well on your bed.
Martha, there's dozens of these up here.
there's one. There's the dark shirt cloth looks in that.
A dark shirt.
There's that in there.
That's
I don't know whether that in there is quilted with the. That's well, no. There's the clusters there. You see the clusters that's quilted.
Yes.
Just a wreath, and that's quilted with a hand. Now whether that's one that Mammy quilted, and slightly worn, no,
It's
I
lovely.
can't. That's one. That's other one that Mammy quilted or Grandma quilted.
Is that right?
That used to be, you see, there were no bedspreads long ago.
Yes.
You hadn't a bedspread to put over a bed. That was a red and white quilt usually.
Uh-huh.
Every bed nearly had to have a red and white quilt over it. Instead of, there were no bedspreads in them days. And then Mammy bought red stuff and white stuff and quilted them out. She quilted. Margaret took one wear, and I think Mammy gave some of the rest. It was over one time, one of them wear. But that in there, as other grannies had quilted it, but I think maybe Mammy had quilted that. And that was wee patchwork, you see.
That's
Different
all the
colours.
zigzag that you were talking
And not
about.
the wee tight, that's one that's quilted with a holland. But you see, that hasn't been, that likely, well, I didn't top that. That was one that was quilted with a holland. That hadn't been out
Was
like
it all done by
much.
hand or was it done by machine?
It was all done by machine, you say?
Hey?
They were all done on the machine. Did you say that they were all made on the machine?
That one wasn't made in the machine.
This was by hand.
That was made with a holland.
Uh-huh.
Where you started there and went up and down, you see.
Yes.
That's an outer one. For I think that hadn't been aware never. Well, it's not too badly worn that, but
And do you still have your machine?
oh, I had a machine now.
Good.
The machine's up here.
That one's got lovely material.
That had been that had been the sort of the quilts in them days. They were all made patchwork. I think I seen Wally. There were two. There Wally put them onto the bed like there were some of them maybe ruffled, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Nothing's not much torn, it's
No,
just
that's a good
it's
one.
just round the edge. Mammy bought this cloth and then sewed it round the edge of all the quilts here. We sewed it
That's in good condition for the age it must be, eh?
You see that in there? Mammy bought this cloth when she was in the town and then I sewed it.
This is the first time you've ever given me tea.
Oh, you never stopped that length of time to be hungry.
Do you take milk in your tea, Martha?
Eh?
Do you take milk in your tea?
Aye. Whoever takes milk, and I don't know who takes sugar and milk, and I just don't bother me such times as lid hand, that's three. Plates and on the far side on it, and on the far side on the far way, you get plates. Plates.
Oh, we're great.
Huh?
That's fine. Means you haven't put the side plates out, Mary.
Huh? You need plates.
She doesn't know how to set. She doesn't know how to set a table.
Oh, she's strange. She can't get this right. You couldn't expect her to get.
Michael's going to have to train her better.
Oh, not at all. She knows all right how to do it, but you see, it's strange. She used to. She used to get in the way of it.
Who needs bellows? Thank goodness, look what's coming.
Oh, help. Don't be going to any bother now, Martha.
Oh, it's no bother. When I have something to carry it. Oh, I know on the far side I think the butler has.
Uh-huh.
What
The
about?
far side of the press. There's butter there.
Yes, the butter's here.
There's jam too in the jam.
Oh, I think we're all right. We're fine.
If you want.
Here's jam.
Well, they're coming back here. Well, they're coming back here.
I've never seen that jam before.
Oh, that's marmalade.
I've never seen that one before.
Well, we get it and you get that big pot for cheaper.
Oh, see, right.
You get that in Billy Clare. You get it for well worth. Well, that was a colour of rhubarb.
Aye. Have you none of the jam left that Margaret made? Our Margaret made for you.
Oh no, that's another good. And we put a jam that last blow.
I will have to get you some.
Ah,
No, it's not too bad.
ah.
Well,
Look, here,
I've got somewhere to go with it.
That's
pick one of them articles.
a tippet.
Tape it.
Right.
Now,
Aye, men first in this house.
that's a good
None
brew.
of your Scottish nonsense.
I'll give you this cup, Martha, because
I'll take you that one.
I don't take milk.
Oh, you don't do it, that's all right.
This is water from the spout.
It's not the same as the shock.
Actually, it is. The spout comes from the shuck. She was asking, did the water come from the shuck?
No, I come for the pump.
All these funny words.
You don't use that word shuck in Scotland, no?
Well, maybe they do.
You obviously mixed in the wrong society. Yeah, you have a lot to learn.
You take sugar.
No thanks.
You take sugar.
No, thanks, Martha. This is
You
lovely.
Why, I'll take sugar.
This is lovely.
That's for the energy, because
Oh, aye, you need that.
I was telling Mary about the lovely soda you used to make.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the day I brought the children up here?
Uh-huh.
And that was lovely that day.
I had soda that day.
That's right. The soda,
Oh,
fresh soda and butter.
I had soda all along. I like soda myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Reach out now. For
Thanks
sure
very
you're
much.
hungry.
Yeah.
Without fresh air.
Ah, well, I could,
Good sir.
could maybe manage.
Right,
With a wee bit of bread and butter. Be nice. Did you make your own butter, Martha?
I've had it on up to for a good while. I had a wee churn and made it.
That would taste different.
glass turn.
That would taste a lot different.
Oh, aye.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'd rather have it.
My father used to make butter.
And there's the milk. And I'd milk coming for a cow. And staying, it's better milk than when you get it in them plastic jars.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the way it is, down there I think at the place, it wouldn't keep the milk if it wasn't, they put water in it. I think that makes it. And then the top rises up to the top of the bottle.
You don't get the cream in it the same way.
Hmm?
You don't get the cream the same way
No,
off the
no.
bought milk.
I say it's a wee bit rough here. That's the best.
Good enough for me.
I'm sitting in Paul's seat.
Ah, you've got pride of place. Was that Paul's seat, Martha?
Huh?
Was that Paul's seat?
No, that was supposed to say.
Paul used to have 2 duck eggs every day.
Did he?
I want some dog.
Don't think I've ever had a duck. Okay.
You know, big blue egg, big blue egg.
I've seen them, I've never eaten one.
The ducks have gone now.
Ah. Oh, well, and they're laying yet.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying she was helping. She was saying they were laying.
Yeah, they were runners, you know, big tall necks. But they kept them in eggs.
Were they too much work, Martha?
Eh?
Were the ducks a lot of work for you to keep?
The duck eggs far stronger than the hen egg.
Mm-hmm.
It's far stronger, it's far better. Right when he was here, I said, tell him, Simon, you took a duck egg after he come. And he says, I never tasted one. Maybe I would like one to taste it. Well, he got all boiled him the egg and all, made him the duck eggs. And Margaret, she wouldn't take them. And then, was it over at Atlas or somebody said, see, I got a hen egg, and it's not near as good as the duck egg for see, it's not near as strong.
No, I'm sure.
So I bought them duck eggs to was going away.
Martha, did you knit much? Did you do any knitting?
I done some, you know, but not very much. Mary was over in America and she knit silks and sent.
Yeah.
And then there were that many silks here. There were ones buying Paul presents of silks at Christmas and things like that.
What do you have to eat in a day, Martha?
Huh?
What all do you have to eat in a day?
And many times.
What do you have?
We usually we had ice spuds for our dinner, usually.
Mm-hmm.
But I spuds yesterday and I said I wouldn't bother the day. And then the way we done this last trial bake, we as in the morning and we put a cup of coloured tea in the gas, you see, and we took that and then he went out and milked, when the cow was milking, went out and milked, and then he came in and got us the breakfast ready.
What would you have?
I would do a fry every morning.
Is that right?
The pan done every morning. Sort of bread, splat,
Oh, good.
and eggs a piece.
Mm-hmm.
But I never was very ill about that bacon. For if I get an egg, that was content me wanting bacon and egg. It was just I got the egg. Well, other times we had every week nearly we had sausages.
Mm-hmm.
How did they keep
We took them instead of the egg that morning. Then maybe we'd boil the eggs in the evening, you see. Well then, we fellas get fish. We had that for fellas, if it was the evening I would have put on a bit of fish.
Did you get fish on Fridays usually?
Oh, fellas have got for Friday, just according, fellas Jimmy Logan was coming there and he brought us a bed.
Right.
We got it for him, he would have brought a bed. But that's from the year, you need to just buy what you would put on the pan. Put on the pan for it wouldn't keep the old fish.
Where would you keep your meat?
Oh, we didn't. We hadn't. What we just put it all and boiled it when it came in.
Aye.
I kept, and that was fresh.
Aye.
I'm all right, Martha.
Huh?
I'm all right, thank you.
Do you not like them?
Oh no, I know I've had
Yes,
some.
you
I've
are
had
here.
some.
I'm okay,
No, I'm
thanks.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay, thank you.
Richard, I'm sure you're hungry.
I've had
Oh,
sufficient now,
Richard.
thanks. I'm fine. That was just a nice wee piece.
You're all cheap.
That's a great thing to get. I love wee gadgets like that. Just it's something that I haven't seen before.
Gives you another wee story.
No, wee story.
Are you looking forward to leaving here, Martha?
Huh?
Are you looking forward to leaving here?
Or a hot.
Are you looking forward to leaving here?
Oh, I'll hit and go from you know. I couldn't stay here. I
Will
couldn't
you be
stay.
sad though?
Hmm?
Will you be sad to leave it though?
Ah, well, I don't know. You need somebody to kind of stay attend you, you know.
Uh-huh.
Laddie has stayed as yacht at night. But, you know, I'm sure it's been taken up. Laddie, she says she sleeps right by you.
Aye.
She sleeps upstairs.
Well, you'll not know till you've tried the other place, eh?
Huh?
You won't know till you've tried the other
No,
place.
no, you
eh?
had to try it a wee while
That's
first.
right.
Oh, when I was up in the hospital in Belfast, they kept me 5 weeks.
Oh,
So,
how did you find that?
oh, I done that. That was all right.
Aye. Were they good to you?
Very good to us. Oh, they're everyone. Very good to us, and so with the doctor the same.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Was that with your leg?
Aye, the loin.
Right.
And then the knee, I was 4 weeks.
Ah.
He didn't want me to come home even after 5 weeks, for he wanted me to go to another home, you know.
You'd know you'd be doing too much.
The last time I was on, he said, to see you're far better go and get to a convalescent home and you get a lovely seafront and good fresh air. I says, oh, if I was home at the cross, I'll have plenty of fresh air. So at the last he said, oh, says, he'll let you go.
Do you know anybody already in the home?
Huh?
Do you know
That
anyone
girl
down
there
there?
cooks on it.
Uh-huh.
That girl there cooks on it.
Well, that's a start.
Mhm.
It's good if you get on with the cook.
What? Oh, what?
Good to get on with them.
Mhm. Well, I was 5 weeks on it and I never had to go to the table during them 5 weeks.
Mhm.
They never asked me, they just... And then the time I was on once before there, the time I was on with the knee, the girl said, she I'm not leaving you down I'm not leaving you down, I tell you the night for you could go to the table. And just when I was going out, just a wee bit out the table, the sister come and says, where are you first? Sorry. The lady said that I was to go to the table. She said, what lady? Oh, sorry, I do not know. I wasn't going to say what one, for I didn't know much difference on the ones. So I don't know. She said, if you go back to your room, she says, I'll see it, it's left down to you. So I said, oh, sorry, I'm near the table now. I'll just go. And it just happened to be two at it, like, you know, and I could get my leg going out through. I had the article on it, you see. And I said, she was to come the next morning and tell me, and she says, how'd you get on last night? Oh, so I got my legs stitched out already.
Have you had holidays, Martha?
Huh?
Have you had holidays away from here?
No, not as years. Not as years.
Where did you go?
I used to go, I was up a time or two up at Green Island
Oh, aye.
with friends there.
Uh-huh.
Now, that was when we got the painting done, and I brought it up to show you with young Dr. Graham. That's the one I like with Paul standing at the door. Do you see that one?
Aye.
With the bucket
of peach.
bucket in hand. No, I think he was in the bar.
Hey?
I think he was going to feed the calves.
Oh, that was the calf maybe. The calf that he had.
What was this one? No, he's just sitting at the table here in the
Yeah,
chair.
he's sitting there at the table.
That's not a good one there. I have better one. Let me see. That is Michael.
That's Michael.
That's one time I brought Michael up.
I had one of them.
Aye. And Paul were just sitting talking. The first time he had been up. And then that's the time you bake the bread with the children. There's the bread.
That's it. The one of them holding up a foreign
Isn't
one
the guy?
and he focus was over.
That's right, that's
The
right.
English fellow with the red hair.
He's the one that played the drafts or checkers with
Aye.
Paul.
That's the one.
Aye. And then that young fellow's a doctor now. Gaston, Mark Gaston.
That's not the one for Rathkenny.
Rathkenny, that's the boy, indeed.
Oh, you had him up here.
That's right.
The time you got the peat.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You were down getting the peat in your Zimmer.
Aye,
And she was carrying the plastic bucket, the big red.
that's right.
And that is another day out at the peat bog. That's Dr. Mary McGowan.
Hey, oh, that's the doctor's wife.
Aye, that's
Uh-huh.
Paul at the peat bank.
That's how my head been the
It's
peat.
all grown over us down there this morning. They're lovely to have. I love these.
Yeah,
There's
that's,
taken away. That's at the table. He wasn't well that time. Do you remember? That's the time he was been sick.
lately.
You see, he wasn't well. He was at the duck egg, sir.
Uh-huh.
See the same cups on the table. Same jug. I'm just saying the same cups and same jugs are on the table, Martha. There's quite a few of Paul at the Pete's.
That's called the peat.
I wish I'd taken more the day he was at the silent. That's you at the Pete's too. Let's see. That's Paul. I'll remove some of the tractor.
That's having the tractor.
Michael and Paul standing at the door. That's you showing Michael's the goose wing, I think, out in the kitchen scullery. You see,
That's, yeah,
in the scullery. And then that's again. Oh yeah, that's Michael's.
Sandra was up
Aye,
one
Sandra was there too.
Yeah.
Aye. And then there's your ducks. That's where your eggs. Those are your egg boxes.
That's where the eggs come from.
Walking up the yard. And there's Mr. Humphreys. That's before Martha had a big lump in her arm. Do you see?
No, that's him that morning.
Okay. And then we took the thing off, and that's Martha. That's the way she carried the pizza.
Yeah, that's not gonna be.
Paul,
That's from the
Paul and the tractor, and that's with the book.
That's the book.
And Rover the dog.
Rover.
And then you're making. That's you and Rover again. Nice one.
Eh?
That's a nice one of you and Rover.
That's it.
That's Paul with the photographs.
Look at the photograph.
Those are the ones I showed you. I've them blown up and made them bigger.
Why? You made them bigger for. That's
Paul.
having the trick.
Dressers. The dressers. That's a nice one there. That was the day you were cooking fish. Fish was on the menu that day.
Why? That would be the day. You and somebody, you and, who was command with you? There was some man command. It was the man for painting.
Oh yes, aye, that man. Aye.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
That's right. I was just getting the fish.
Aye,
Fish ready for.
that's right.
So you said to me, did you get it all?
Yes.
He thought I had put out a too big a bat.
You have a good appetite.
No, what? Well, when you get the like of that, you get an appetite.
Yeah. Your water's very good, Martha.
Eh?
It's good water for the tea.
That's very good water
Yeah.
for the tea. Very good water for the tea.
You're like us, we have our own well.
Oh, well, that's,
Aye.
and does it go with gravity?
No, we have to pump it up.
We had to pump it.
We've had it for about 25 years.
Uh-huh.
Great well.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good, up in the upper bowl there.
Yes.
We sunk that, we had to sunk that. They wouldn't pass the water coming down the shaft for going round the cans of water. Imagine they wouldn't take that.
Yes.
They would take them spring water. Or either bring it for the end of the loan or sink a pump.
It's hard to farm with all these regulations nowadays, isn't
Oh,
it?
you couldn't. There are more papers comes in about base.
Aye.
You could not fill them in.
Martha, coming back to these quilts now, I don't want to take anything that the family would like. Do you understand?
I know. But the fact that like what them ones that's over there, the one they want not again, you
Yeah.
know, and it would hit him red out.
Well, these old ones of your mother's I'd like for the record.
Uh-huh.
And the ones that you've done, the ones
Aye,
that
well-
calico. And anything that you're for throwing out or burning, I'll take.
I know. Well, that's all right. Mrs. Dunlop there, I gave thanks
Yes,
to
that's,
her.
that'd be nice for her.
Because she's sweet ones, you know, and
Aye.
anything like that, you know, it helps.
Aye, she's a nice woman.
She's a nice sort of one, very nice, and comes up here and kept me company here for Lilligan away one day. She said she'll come early in the morning.
Yes.
And had which would one I told her says I don't be coming up because work at the hay to get the hay. She's the hay cutter.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that bought Paul's cow,
Oh,
and
But
they
they-
had a calf.
Herbie's not that well.
No,
but
Herbie's, there's not much work in Herbie.
Herbie's not that well. It was too bad.
So I will tidy up the kitchen for you now, Martha.
Eh?
We'll better tidy up the kitchen.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
We have hay to bale at home.
What?
We have hay to bale at home.
Oh, hey?
Uh-huh. There's an acre. We were at it last night. We were Atchison Armstrong, my neighbour. He was baling hay, and we were helping him.
Yeah.
We're neighbouring.
Oh, you just never.
Neighbours. So
That's the way. That's the way it